everyone, it's Ellen here, and if you can't tell already, I have another guitar unboxing video for you today. Today we're unboxing Trumon guitars. They actually sent me over two models. One is their 05 Beginner Series and the other is their 1900 Master Series. So I wanted to unbox both in this video today and kind of go over the differences and things like that and let you know my opinion on whether or not it's worth it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And if you can't tell, I forgot to mention these guitars are available on Amazon.com, and so that's what the tape is for. The shipping was pretty fast. This is the Beginner Series one. This one came from Little Rock, Arkansas, and it took a few days to get here. The other one came from China, so that box is a little bit more beat up, and I will show that in one second. But first of all, let's open the Beginner Series guitar. Alright guys, so as is common with a lot of these beginner guitar kit models, the Trumon one is kind of like a beginner set, so it does come with the carrying case and a few extras. So here is a cleaning cloth, there's a capo in here, some Trumon brand guitar strings, a guitar pick, and there's probably like a strap or something in here too, so let's go ahead and see what is in this case. You got your front pocket for your music. You got your side handle that's padded. These backpack straps are also padded and adjustable. So let's go ahead and look at the guitar. Alright guys, so here is the 05 Beginner Series all unboxed. The first things that I noticed about it when I was opening it is just the fact that it has a gloss finish. I just recently got my first gloss finish guitar, and so it's nice to kind of add to that collection because I do think that they are really pretty and it shines really well in my studio lighting here. And the second thing that I really noticed right away is the fact that they do have a pick guard here, but you probably can't see it on camera, but it's clear actually. So I think that's great because it gives you the functionality of having a pick guard without having to actually look at one if that's not really your style. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the specs of this guitar. Alright guys, so like I said, this is their 05 Beginner Series acoustic guitar. The body style is their cutaway TF style, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that after we unbox the other one as well. The top of the guitar is Sitka spruce, and the back and sides are both mahogany. The neck is NATO, and the fretboard is rosewood. We have your classic chrome tuning pegs on top, and then the Trumon brand name is at the very top with their little seagull design so that you can kind of tell it apart from your other guitars. There is some binding around the edges of this body style, which is typically found in more of a higher end guitar, so that's really cool that they decided to do that. I think the rosette around the sound hole looks pretty cool just because, you know, it is Sitka spruce on the top, but then around the actual sound hole you have this wood that looks more like the mahogany, so it kind of brings the texture and the color of the back and sides into the front as well. As expected with the Beginner Series guitar, you do have your plastic bridge as well as your nut, but that's pretty common as well. These strings, I believe, are just the Trumon brand guitar strings, so we'll see how that sounds in 1 second. Something to notice is that even though the actual guitar body is a gloss finish, the back of the neck is satin, which is something that I always love because, you know, if you have sweaty hands like me, it's a little bit easier to play because it's not so sticky and glossy. They do have a few dot inlays so that you can tell what fret you're playing on, and then again with this cutaway on the body, there's something special about this, but let me go ahead and unbox the other one before I tell you guys about it. Alright guys, so here's the other box. Like I said, this Master Series was shipped to me from China, so as you can tell, this box has been through the ringer. There's actually quite a bit of damage done to like the bottom and the sides. There's holes in it, so I'm a little worried that the guitar might be a little bit scratched up, but let's go ahead and unbox it and see how this looks. Alright guys, so like I said, this is the Master Series, so it is a little bit higher in price point, and with that you get a little bit higher quality things, such as this case. This is a hard shell case, and it's covered in this kind of like velour material. As you can tell from these little fuzzies, it's kind of like that velvety kind of feel, and then you can tell their branding here is embroidered on the Trumon guitars. And it's got the backpack straps just like the other one. These are padded, and it does have this handle here. It's a really solid handle, really solid zipper, so the casing is really cool. Oh, by the way, the guitar doesn't seem damaged because it is a hard shell. In the box there was a little carrying case for your extras, and in here we have a little smaller case, and this is the Trumon capo, which actually looks really solid as well, so I'll be able to try that out in 1 second. They also have like a little info package where it comes with a little booklet about the guitar that you just purchased, some pics, the wrench for the Allen wrench thing to adjust your guitar, another cleaning cloth here, and both of these guitars I don't think came with straps, so you'd have to get that separately if you're somebody who likes to play with guitar straps. But let's go ahead and open the guitar. Nice. All right, so the inside of the case has this kind of fur gray lining, and then of course you do have your pouch here for those of you who care about, like, you know, carrying and traveling with your guitar and things like that. Alright guys, first impressions again after unboxing is immediately the design of this guitar. As you can see, there's this beautiful little like dolphin inlay in the middle of the guitar, and then around the rosette there's like this really cool like geometric kind of pattern with different wood colors and wood tones, and then you also have this detailing right here around where the neck meets the guitar. This is all stuff that just like caught my eye right away. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of these specs. So this body style that you're actually seeing here is Trumon's sharp cutaway body style, which is really unique to their brand and their company, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in 1 second. The top of the guitar is Sitka spruce, and the back and side are mahogany. The neck is mahogany and rosewood, and the fretboard is rosewood. Something special about this guitar too is that because it's the Master Series, this actually does feature some D'Addario brand guitar strings. And at the headstock here, you can see it's a little bit different than the Beginner Series because we do have this gold hardware with the gold tuning pegs. And then instead of the seagull, you have more of this like compass looking icon here, and then you also have the Trumon branding on the top. And if you can't tell, the headstock is actually a little different than the Beginner Series. It has a more of a slender, like curved kind of look to it, so definitely more unique looking. Like I mentioned in my first impression, it has this beautiful dolphin inlay right around the 12th fret. It looks really cool against the dark rosewood. You look down a little bit, it does have that, you know, two-tone kind of look as the neck meets the body of the guitar, and that brings your eye down to this beautiful rosette with all of these different textures and colors. There's a little bit of gold and a little bit of abalone, things like that. The binding again is really beautiful and two-tone as well. The guitar is a gloss finish just like the Beginner Series, but again that neck is satin, so that's easier to play. I'm pretty sure the bridge and the nut are made of plastic still, but I'll double check on that and put it on screen if that is wrong information. But again, we do have the dots on top to show you what fret you're playing, but there's no actual inlays on the fretboard except for that beautiful dolphin detailing. Again, this guitar has that sharp cutaway, so that actually brings me into something that I wanted to talk briefly about. So if you are unfamiliar with different body shapes and things like that, Trumon does offer 3 types of body shapes for their guitars. One is the dreadnought body shape. They also have the normal cutaway that you would see on other beginner guitars. Something special about Trumon guitars though is that they have specially designed their cutaway guitars. So as you can see, this guitar has more of that like rounded kind of body, but it also has this cutaway here. And if you can't tell, this cutaway is super sharp and it goes in pretty deep. And Trumon apparently has done a lot of like research, marketing, testing with guitar players to see what guitar players needed. And so they designed this cutaway specially so you can get all the way up here on the neck. And I think the Beginner Series guitar also had that, so I'll make sure to include some footage so you can kind of compare them side by side. In my hands, it does feel like this neck is actually pretty narrow. I think it's probably just like a C-shaped neck, it seems like. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me because the body is a little bit larger than I'm used to, but the neck definitely feels kind of narrow, which is good for someone with my size hands. But the real test is yet to come. Let's go ahead and tune these babies up and kind of hear how they sound together. We'll start with the Beginner Series and then we'll go into the Master. Alright guys, so hopefully that back-to-back comparison was helpful for you if you are someone who's looking to buy a guitar online, looking at Amazon, you know, Trumon guitars. This is the difference between their 05 Beginner Series and their 1900 Master Series. To my ear, they sounded very similar. I'm actually super impressed with the Beginner Series model. By the way, I think I just totally forgot to mention, right now you can buy the 05 Beginner Series guitars on Amazon and they are going for $199. And then the Master Series is also available on Amazon. Those are going for $799. So it is quite a big jump in price. But as far as starter guitars go, I will say I've unboxed quite a few here on my channel. I'll make sure to put a playlist if you're curious. This is probably one of my favorites. Overall, the Trumon Guitars brand has really impressed me today while I was unboxing them. Because of the Master Series being a little bit more expensive, I will say that the top two things you're probably paying for with that price difference is just the fact that it looks a lot more enticing, it's a lot more beautiful, there's a lot more little details like that, and the fact that they have put in those details to help you play better, such as the narrower string spacing, the rounded fret wires, things like that. So that's kind of what you're paying for that little upgrade for, but the beginner $200 guitar is just as easily playable. I think it's just as beautiful. Maybe it doesn't have as much detail visually, but I think it plays really nicely. I'm excited to kind of feature that in some future videos, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing. I really hope that it helped you get an idea of Trumon Guitar brand. If you're interested in any of these guitars for yourself, I do have some affiliate links down in the description box, so I'll make sure to link those and I can also put an iCard right up here. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped and I will see you in my next video coming out really soon. Bye!